Busters, it's your boy Mr. KG here. Sorry for all the things I call you guys. Just realized I'm kind of rude, you know, but it's alright. To talk to a camera, so technically not straight to you guys, you know, but later we're gonna do a little chat on the couch, something like that, you know, so yeah. What's up, boys? It is your boy Mr. KG. Okay, now we are here in something that you guys are very familiar with. Not really. The couch, okay? Now, I've been here a couple times, and last time I was here I was with, you know, my old persona here, John. But, you know, he's officially left to Tahiti, and, you know, he's just had a very, very good time. He's just sipping martinis on the beach, alright? Now, what I want to talk about today was just kind of like something normal, you know? I wanted to have a chat and mix it up a little bit from what we normally have been doing with the little vlogs, you know? I want to kind of treat those more as filler episodes, if that makes sense, to like our little show we got going on here. The vlogs will be posted like as I'm thinking of new video ideas and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So that's probably how it's gonna go on. And I understand it's a little cringy to be like, oh, my little show, but I'm gonna try treating this like a show, you know? There's gonna be fillers with like the vlogs, and then in between like the good, like the video ideas, like the chats and reacts and some of the things like that, you know what I mean? Implementing some other things, maybe some gaming, who knows, into it. We're gonna be doing the vlogs. So I think that's how that's gonna work. You know, like, subscribe, leave a like, a comment, you know, if you did anything at all this morning, this afternoon, anything at all. You gotta let me know. You gotta like, you gotta comment, you gotta interact with the channel. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of the year, okay? And I believe, I know that we can hit that goal, okay? So we just gotta get that locked in. So, yeah, on with the chat. Alrighty, boys. Today, what I wanted to, you know, generally talk about was everybody's kind of like worried about everything, right? And like what they're wearing, how they look, what they're doing, what they post online, how they look when they post online. You know, every single little detail, right? Now, of course, there's a level of quality that you got to keep up if you're trying to do this, to like just do it, you know? You can't just post a bunch of bullshit and hope that it goes viral. That's not how it's gonna work. On YouTube, on TikTok, it works like that. Honestly, I've seen a lot of stuff, but there's even this guy on TikTok, right, where he just lays in the middle of the floor. Everybody looks at him and stuff, and obviously he's uncomfortable. He states that multiple times, right? But he's just like, everybody's in their own world. They're not gonna, like, you know, it's just, they're not gonna do anything, right? And I've said this for a while, honestly, to myself, my wife, honestly, that, like, you just can't care too much, you know? Like, I honestly, most of the time I'm thinking, oh, I got hurt, so I don't gotta care about what no other shorties think about what I look like, you know what I mean? That's how you gotta work, you just can't care. But I know that's a lot easier said than done, but it's a little easier done when you say and realize that not everybody is paying attention, because everybody has their own worries like that, right? So if you're so worried about yourself, why are you gonna be worried about somebody else, right? Now, if I'm worried about how my socks are folded, I don't think I'm going to be worried about how your hair is touched, you know what I mean? Now, sometimes I might notice things, or like anybody might notice something about you, or anyone, you know? And that's going to happen, okay? Like, a lot of times I've noticed, like, when I was going to school a lot of times before, and I was like, oh, what about this, about like something I'm wearing or something, right? I'm like, well, nobody's going to notice, but they do, right? They say something. That's when you gotta double down and be like, well, you know what I mean? That's just how it goes, right? So, that's just, you gotta figure it out. Keep pushing through stuff like that. And you gotta realize, like I've reiterated, no one really cares, right? Now, the thing about it is, if you have to struggle with that thing every single day, and it bothers you when you're by yourself, and not when everybody's around, maybe you should change that, or maybe if it's something you can change it. Hey boys, my sword just ran out, so I decided to, you know, switch up the angle and flip it around, you know. Just figured it'd be a better thing. I'm gonna close my door real quick. Basically what I'm saying is be yourself, you know what I mean? Everybody else, like, why should you care what they think? Because most people that you know right now, you're not gonna know in 10 years, or 5 years, or 3 years, maybe even next year, maybe next week, who knows, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people that aren't going to be permanent in your life, and there's some that you could choose to be permanent in your life, there's some that you can't, there's some that are just like, you're going to drift apart naturally, and you're not even going to know, right? And it's just one of those instances to where you just gotta reflect, right? And then you gotta really think about who you actually do want in your life. Whoever it is, right? No matter who it is, if they hurt you or something like that and you want to keep in your life, you could always choose, or you could choose to reconcile depending on who they are, right? Or you gotta think and stop for a second and think about how if you haven't known somebody for more than a year, you probably have no clue who they are anymore, right? They probably have some similarities, or maybe they're still the same, but there are definitely experiences that have changed them, things that have changed them, and just time changes everybody, you know? You can't stop time from changing people. It's just one of those things that, like, none of us can control, okay? Now, time is just one of those things that you can't stop. It's inevitable. It's gonna happen. Like, when you're a little kid, right? You're waiting for Christmas. Well, time takes forever. You can't fall asleep. You're all excited, right? But when you have to go to the doctor for surgery, you're scared about that shit's coming like that, lickety split, okay? And that's just the thing about it. No matter what, you're gonna have to wait out the exact amount of time, right? And it might change and feel depending how long it feels, you know, and all of the stuff like that. But that's just how it's gonna go, right? And I don't know. I just kind of want to drop a little bit of knowledge with you guys and hang out and have a little bit of a chat, an old school chat like we haven't before, you know. So well, we have, but like a while ago. So yeah. I just feel like it was about time to bring back some of the chats, because that's kind of what I started with a lot of the time. It's just kind of hard to find things to talk about and to kind of keep conversation going. One thing I will say I have gotten better with is pronunciation of my words and just all of my consistency throughout my speaking. You know, I'm not stuttering so much. I'm like consistently rambling on. But what I was saying, right, is a lot of times I just wanted to bring this back because, you know, like I was saying in the beginning of the video, I was gonna kind of treat the vlogs more of like filler episodes, right? Where they're gonna, you know, just be something to keep the algorithm happy, right? Because I was kind of running a little self-experiment over the last couple months, and I realized, wow, like a lot of this stuff really is off consistency. Obviously, there's advertising and all this stuff like that goes into it. You know, that's very normal for, you know, things and videos and stuff like that, and your thumbnail, and that's to be clickable, right? Now, I've been improving my thumbnails and trying to get a little better at it, and just working on the whole YouTuber shtick as we're going on, right? And I hope I've been doing better for you guys, and I hope it is worth a subscribe, a like, a comment, any interaction. Like I said in the beginning of the video, we're trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of the year, guys. And, you know, it would just mean the world to me to build a community that we can both be proud of together, have some interaction, you know, just not be such a lonely channel out here, okay? I know we have, a decent amount of subscribers. We're getting views in the videos, which I appreciate so much, okay? But, you know, we got to keep growing consistently, right? And, yeah, I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Peace.